easy go.
This is amazing.
His eyebrows.
Ultimately, a dude's got to make his own decisions, right?
Oh, they're marbles.
Well, it's not your fault, dude, but it's natural to feel that way, but it's like with my mom, you know, could I have done more? Maybe. I could have moved away and said, screw this until you stop anything, but maybe that would have made more problems, so you have no idea knowing how it's going to happen.
Why are you guys so close?
Once we start this, I'm going to have you guys move back like into the four squares.
Take like 4 big steps back.
So this is Smokey Joe, who used to be a lot more Caucasian.
Hi.
He was here when I started teaching. I just found him in the storeroom not being used, and I was like, oh dude, I'm totally going to use this. So we're going to do 1 cigarette today. This tubing that you see, it actually used to be the same color as the box. It was clear, and I changed it 2 years ago. So that's about, what, 8 cigarettes, 9 cigarettes. When we get back inside, if we have time, I'll show you. I had to actually take a paper clip and smash out the inside of this tube because there was a big tar ball stuck on the inside. So the way I set this up, the orange end is the one with the filter. Most cigarettes have a filter, and the filter is what the person breathes through, which means this is the unfiltered end. So when somebody's smoking, they're actually breathing in somewhat filtered smoke. It's somewhat better for them than if they were just to sniff this end. But it's still, you know, cigarette smoke. I need a body. 2 bodies, actually. Lemieux Bugal. Oh, you're recording. You gotta have 2 hands, I'm sorry. Ronan and Julianne. Ronan, you're gonna be on lid duty. When I say go, you just get this on there. You get to be my lung for right now. So what you're gonna do when I say go, you're just gonna slowly pull it back like this. And hold it open, and then when I tell you, just slowly push it out. And then when I say cover it.
Okay, everybody take a couple more big steps back.
Pull that.
Oh, sorry. I don't know.
Okay, there.
Okay.
And nice and slow back. And then fast out. Okay, look at it. Alright. So, thank you. You're amazing. So what you're going to see, so talking about the diagram that we were talking about inside. So when you breathe in smoke, those columnar cells, the ones that produce those cilia, remember that's your body's defense mechanism, right? You want to trap bacteria, you want to trap whatever nasty pollen, whatever it is. You want to trap it in there. If it's dirt, if it's smoky, whatever it is. And then your mucus cells, those goblet cells, produce the mucus which wipes them off. When you smoke, has anyone in here ever burnt a hair? What happens to that hair?
Gets singed.
It singes and it kind of shrivels up and disappears. Cigarette smoke does that to cilia. So those little cilia in the lining of your lungs, when the smoke gets in there and the heat gets in there, it physically burns them to the point where they shrivel up and die. And so what you have are these columnar cells that no longer have cilia. If you don't have cilia, you cannot trap the nasty things that come in your lungs, and you cannot get them out. Add on top of that you have a nice thick layer of tar, which is pretty much the same thing as the asphalt here, and you have that sticking in there. Now, not only do you not have cilia, but now you have a sticky barrier where viruses and other things stick to in there. What eventually, and of course then, your goblet cells say, oh, well, we need to produce more mucus. There's irritation in here. And so you keep producing mucus, but you can't wash anything out. And so people who smoke often have a chronic cough because their body is constantly producing mucus to try and wipe off the cilia that aren't there. How do you get more cilia? How do you get more filters in your lungs if they keep getting burned off? Yeah?
Being sick.
I'm sorry?
Being sick.
Being sick? Not quite. Yeah. You don't. Well, your body wants to. If you quit smoking, you almost immediately will see benefits. And one of those benefits is that the cilia will actually have a chance to regenerate because you're no longer giving them smoke to make them shrivel up and die. The other thing your body does if you do continue to smoke is it says, well, we've got all these columnar cells, but we don't have cilia. We need to make more cilia. One way to do that is to make a lot more columnar cells. And so those columnar cells start reproducing like crazy to try and make more cilia. Of course, every time you smoke, the cilia get burned off. And so what happens is that layer of columnar cells starts to triple, quadruple in thickness, where all of a sudden you have 4 times as many cells, but they still don't have any cilia because you keep burning them off. Now, if you have 4 times as many cells, and every once in a while a cell mutates and it messes up its instructions to where it starts doing mitosis unregulated, that's how cancer goes. A cancer cell is a cell where they just keep multiplying out of control. And so by destroying those cilia and your ability to filter things out, your body just keeps producing columnar cells with the hope that it thinks it's making more cilia, but it's not. And so you're destroying them faster than they develop, but you're also producing more cells, which leads the way for the possibility of some of them to mutate into a mass called a tumor. Lung cancer can be particularly hard to treat. The expectancy used to be 5 years, like if you're diagnosed, you have about 5 years. That number has gone up because they're able to treat it a lot better now, but it's still a really nasty one to treat. On your fact sheet, it also mentioned cancer of the pancreas, of the throat, of the larynx, any of the tubes there, even your circulatory system, your kidneys, your liver. It affects your heart, all parts of your body. So it's not like it's just the lungs here. When you talk about the term secondhand smoke, most people think it's the smoke that people breathe out. Secondhand smoke is the stuff that's coming off the end of the cigarette. Is that end filtered? No. So secondhand smoke, which comes off the end, is particularly nasty. In California, you used to be able to smoke in bars and restaurants in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s before they made it legal. And one of the highest professions where people developed cancer was being a waitress or a bartender, even if you didn't smoke. Because you were in an environment where people had all this secondhand smoke coming off. And the stuff on the end is even nastier. And so they made it illegal to smoke in restaurants. Now you have to have certain areas, designated areas. So we're almost done here with this guy. Now, there's not a lot of smoke coming out of here, but I still smell terrible. Just because you can't see the smoke does not mean it's there. So when you see mom or dad driving down the highway, smoking, and their little baby's in the back seat in its infant seat, and the window's cracked, you're still giving your baby secondhand smoke before it has a chance to have a choice. All right, so we're just about done here. What time we got, Janet Banana?
11:30.
Perfect. So I'm going to open this. The wind is going that way, so you definitely want to be over there. Watch, it's going to switch now.
It's so,
Yeah, it still may come back at you.
so far.
Walk all the way over here.
The lid, there's obviously some spots where it accumulates. It's kind of hard to see, but the little flap here that seals it, even that is pretty nasty. Anyways, that question on your handout that talks about how you might design it differently, I had people talk about a different setup here. Somebody even mentioned that there were nose holes in here, and they said, oh, what if we hooked up a separate one to the nose to see if it made a difference whether it was nasal or oral? I thought that was kind of a cool idea. Anyways, let's go ahead inside and we'll check out this lung tissue here. No, I'm gonna let you guys go first.